Big Pharma today is panicking because RFK Jr. just announced that they are taking COVID off the recommended list for children and pregnant women. Here's a video of them making that announcement because I think it's great. I think it's historic. As always, guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel so other great patriots like yourself will see it. Here we go.
Hi, everybody. I'm Robert F. Kennedy Jr., your HHS Secretary, and I'm here today with NIH Director Dr. Jay Bhattacharya and FDA Commissioner Dr. Marty Makary. I couldn't be more pleased to announce that as of today, the COVID vaccine for healthy children and healthy pregnant women has been removed from the CDC recommended immunization schedule. Last year, the Biden administration urged healthy children to get yet another COVID shot despite the lack of any clinical data to support the repeat booster strategy in children.
That ends today. It's common sense and it's good science.
There's no evidence healthy kids need it today, and most countries have stopped recommending it for children.
We're now one step closer to realizing President Trump's promise to make America healthy again.
So upon releasing this video, the lies immediately ensued from the people that you would expect, because at the end of the day, this is all about money. And so there are certain people being paid off. Big Pharma, obviously, it pays oodles of money to the legacy media, as well as Democrats and some Republicans as well, to make sure that the vaccines like COVID are taken as often as possible in any form that they can get it done. What's crazy is how fast that they galvanized against RFK Jr. because he put this out, I'm pretty sure, this morning. And already what you're seeing right now is that every single legacy media outlet is reporting on it. And what they're doing is they're putting they talk a little bit at the beginning about what happened. And then the majority of the story is full swaths of talking about how RFK Jr. is an idiot and how they go into a full analysis on why everybody needs the jab. Everybody needs to get a COVID shot. That is the whole story. If you go look it up right now, you'll see any news outlet doing this. Here, just as an example, here's a piece of NBC's reporting, for instance, so you can get kind of an idea of what it is. This is what they say. They say, there are no mandates in the U.S. for anyone to get the COVID shot, but experts say that millions of people, even those who have had a previous COVID infection, still may need another dose because they're vulnerable to severe diseases from the virus, particularly older adults, people with weakened immune systems, and pregnant women. Again, I don't fully disagree. I don't think that's the most crazy, outrageous statement, but it's almost like this was sent out, like the PR people at Moderna or Pfizer sent this out to every single legacy media outlet, because if you look at the wording of that, it's in every single legacy media story. And that's just one piece of it. I mean, it goes on and on and on about how important the COVID vaccine is. The narrative, though, they talk about pregnant women there at the end, so I have to address that. There's this narrative out there that pregnant women absolutely need the vaccine and that they're gonna die if they don't. And it's ridiculous. So I kind of looked into this. This is the CDC's info on pregnant women fatalities. This is what they said. They had some very specific stuff in Mississippi. For whatever reason, they use that state as kind of a microcosm for all the states. They said in Mississippi, between March 2020 and October 2021, there were 15 COVID-19 associated deaths, whatever that means, because of course they like to trump up the numbers, as we all know that happened. It verifiably happened, where they would say it was a COVID death. Now they call it COVID associated because most of those deaths weren't actually from COVID. In any case, 15 COVID-19 associated deaths among pregnant women, equating to 9 deaths per 1,000 COVID infections during pregnancy. In Mississippi, during roughly the same time, guys, there were 77 deaths caused by AIDS. So you had 5 times more people die of AIDS than COVID, and that if you were pregnant. That's basically what's happening. And the legacy media is trying to make you believe that this is somehow an existential threat to pregnant women, for example, just because RFK Jr. said that, hey, it's not really recommended anymore. You can still do it. It's not illegal. It's just, we don't recommend it anymore. The legacy media, though, is not the only one jumping on the Big Pharma stuff. We also have Democrats, like I talked about. Democrats are all of their campaigns, every single one is funded by Moderna or Pfizer. They just are. And so you had today Democrats basically just saying outright lies about what RFK Jr. is doing. And Elizabeth Warren, of course, is always one of the main culprits when it comes to just lying online. So I want to show you a tweet from her. This is what she said. She said, when Americans raised concerns about RFK Jr.'s anti-vaccine views, he said he was, quote, not going to take away vaccines from anybody. But now he's taking them away for millions of mamas and babies. I love that. Mamas and babies. Vaccine recommendations should be based on science, not RFK Jr.'s political agenda. In that tweet, it's just filled with bold-faced lies. Nothing she said in there was true. You can still go get your baby vaccinated for COVID if you want. If you're pregnant, you can still go do it. It's just not recommended. And again, why would it when there are only 15 COVID-related deaths in Mississippi? Also, I looked it up as well. 0.1% of all COVID deaths were babies. 0.1%. And all of those babies, pretty much every single one, had some sort of pre-existing condition, some sort of lung problem. So again, they're not random healthy babies that were dying. These were very specific cases, 0.1% of all COVID deaths. So obviously there's this narrative going out there. Here's the thing with all of this. I'm really not an anti-vaxxer. I'm really not. It's just not an issue I'm super passionate about. It's not something I've honestly done enough research to really talk about. But what I do know is that when I see corruption, I know it's corruption. It's just so plain out there. What I see is that Moderna and Pfizer are donating millions of dollars to Democrats and then advertising with every single legacy media organization. And then they oppose what RFK Jr. is doing. Like, it's just that simple. And then I also see the data that I just read to you. That's just some of the data. There's a lot out there that suggests that healthy adults and babies don't need the vaccine. There's just no reason to get it. So again, it's not an anti-vaxxer stance. It's just common sense. At the end of the day, Americans love what Trump is doing right now. He loves his cabinet. Trump and his cabinet, I think, are very unified in many ways, especially when it comes to the Make America Healthy Again stance. I think RFK Jr. has been fantastic on that. They've done a great job dismantling all the Biden crap that they did to CDC. We actually have some new polling that just came out. It looks very, very good for Trump. This is just a couple that came out. There's many. This one's from Rasmussen. His approval is at 52% right now, which is very good. Anything above 51% is honestly fantastic. And here's the deal. I have a lot of people, this is something I talk a lot about. There's a lot of people out there who say, well, the polls aren't really accurate. How can we really trust the polls? I get that. I get it. But I think at the end, what you can see at the bottom of this, if you're watching, if you're just listening, I'll read it to you. It says, was net -1, meaning that the old approval rating was actually 49% to 50%. Which means he's gone up by 3% since the last time they polled. And so at the end of the day, do I really think 52% exactly of Americans approve Donald Trump? No. It could be higher. It could be lower. I don't really know. But what I do know is that when you see all of the polls go in the upward direction, you know the momentum is with Trump. This is how all the people, myself included, that actually predicted that Donald Trump would win in 2024, this is how we did it. I didn't trust that the number that the poll showed was going to be accurate. I never did. But what I saw was that at different times during the election, there were momentum swings. And towards the end, there was a clear momentum swing towards Donald Trump because people hated Kamala Harris for good reason. The same thing is happening right now. What you're seeing right now is that Trump is having a massive turnaround. He had some 44, 45% polls, even with Rasmussen, which is a right-leaning poll. He was at 47% in some cases. He's made a 5-point swing over. Really what it comes down to, it's largely due to him reversing course on the tariff policies, which are hugely unpopular. However, if you look at this poll as well, it actually breaks down the several kind of issues, and you can see that he is hugely up on immigration, crime, the economy, gun laws, and inflation, whereas he's down on gender identity, education, healthcare, abortion, climate change. In other words, he is up on every single actually important issue, except I would argue education, which is definitely an important issue, and down on all of the issues that people don't care as much about. Politics is about preference. I mean, I'm not saying no one cares about climate change. I think people do. But people care about the economy way more than they care about climate change. And I think the same is true for the Make America Healthy stuff as well. I think people look at that and they think, what could be more important than the health of my children? And I think that's one of the reasons, along with the tariff policies being reversed, where you're seeing this huge momentum slide towards Donald Trump. It's this kind of stuff that RFK Jr. and Trump are doing that is the reason that Trump was elected in the first place. As many of you guys know, I have a brand new baby at home, so I'm getting zero sleep right now, but I still try to get to the gym every day, and fortunately, I have Energy Rocks, the sponsor of this show that gets me the energy that I need. Energy Rocks replaces that heavy, sugary pre-workout drink with a light supplement that you can fit right in your pocket and you can take out and eat whenever you want. It's modeled after Pop Rocks. Energy Rocks was created by a competitive athlete for athletes and anybody who just needs that energy boost without the messy mixes, the horrible caffeine crashes, and my favorite part right now, guys, it's only 20 calories. It's 4 grams of sugar. Super great, very light, and you get all the energy that you would get from 1 cup of coffee. Right now, they're being incredibly generous with me and you guys, my viewers. They're giving all of us a very generous 20% off their whole store. So go check them out right now. Use the code JoshCarr, 20 off at checkout. The link and that code are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel as well so other great patriots like yourself will see it. Tune in every day live at 6 p.m. for that live show, and you can watch another video right here.